Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. Today is February 27th. It's a Saturday, and I just received word that City of Oakland homeless administrator Daryel Dunston has just stepped down, and he's taken a position with another city. And so that leaves an interesting question here, because Mayor Libby Schaaf, the person that she has dealing or had and still does, person dealing with us is Joe DeVries. Joe DeVries is Libby Schaaf's henchman, and he was not making headway or any points with those of us who advocate for the homeless and those of us who are homeless. And so Joe DeVries has been a real sore spot with us, and we had him step back. Actually, the city created a different position for him and moved him horizontally, so he didn't lose any money, didn't lose any seniority. He's still the assistant city manager, so to speak, in a way, and he was the face that us on the street had to deal with then, because a lot of different things, and we accused him of racism. The city went and hired Daryel Dunston. Daryel Dunston, he hasn't been with the city of Oakland very long. In fact, I have met him face to face in one HOG meeting, which is Homeless Advocacy Working Group. That was when he was first hired on before COVID, and that was one opportunity where I met with him, and then he took down my name. I never heard back from him again, because he said that he really wanted to work with me, that my name was passed to him by upper management, so he was aware of me. And then my encounter here with Daryel in a city-related matter for my encampment. We got along just fine, and I know that he wanted to work with me more, and he wanted to work with me more in depth, because a lot of the things that I was telling him made sense. And so he actually had an order from the mayor's office not to engage me in any way, and he never did. And how I knew about that, because one day he told me, Daryel, at one of the times we met, he told me that the administration has barred him from actually talking and engaging me unless it was something regarding my encampment. And so that's very damaging. We know that Daryel, he has a family here in Oakland, and he knows a thing or two about homelessness, because it's touched him and his family. And so I bring that up to say it's very rare that this particular administration is going to be able to hire a person of color, any person of color, a black person, Latinx, Asian, or any person of color, and have them follow along with their very dedicated agenda. And the agenda is, how they put it, is to gentrify Oakland, make the city of Oakland more inviting and appealing, so that we have residential growth. And so they're going about it the whole wrong way, and in a very capitalistic fashion, I'll say, rather than the label that I really want to use. But it's interesting, because now a lot of us here on the Oakland streets that have to deal with this administration and some of the things that are currently in progress, like the Union Point eviction and a court order to the city to move those folks. And so Daryel, I'm sure, was very sympathetic to the Union Point case, and then also was, I'm sure, arguing for a continuance of that encampment being in its place because of COVID. So there were things that I'm sure Daryel was conflicted about a lot, and I know that he wasn't happy. He avoided a lot of our online meetings with the homeless advocacy work group, and it was pretty consistent that he didn't want to attend the meetings to inform us of what the city's policies or intentions were. And another thing that's really interesting, if you've been following along with what the homeless life enrichment committees and everything here in Oakland, we also have a new committee on homelessness. And this committee on homelessness, Daryel was the lead for this new commission. And the appointees that sat on these are people concerned Oakland residents. They have to be an Oakland resident. One of those folks that sits on that particular board is Candace Elder of East Oakland Collective. Another friend of mine that sits on that board is Janie Castillo of St. Mary's Center. And so these are strong voices that advocate for the unhoused and the low-income areas. And I'm sure Daryel was very conflicted because the policies that are currently in place and the current EMP is so racist that we're trying to get it thrown out, but yet the city is still trying to implement it in some fashion. And so if you go through the actual EMP that's currently in play, or that we're currently discussing changes to a lot of it. In fact, we're still trying to get it thrown out, and so it is so biased that there isn't very much wiggle room for anything. And so right now it's not being implemented for a lot of those reasons. So anyway, a lot of developments here going on, even on the weekends. And this is important for every resident in Oakland because this involves you. This involves your neighborhood. This involves the homeless that are having to struggle on the streets, and the intervention agencies that work on behalf of the city and other agencies. So thank you for joining me today. We'll be right back.